my relation.
Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just 1 second. Sorry about that, folks. I didn't have my Zoom link. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I apologize. Let me get the video going. All right, we should be good to go. You guys should be hearing me okay. You guys should be seeing me okay. We got already 239 people here. Good morning, everybody. I apologize. Usually when I come into my Zoom workplace, I have everything waiting for me, but not today. So I do apologize about that. I do apologize. Sorry about that. All right. Welcome. Good morning. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated. Let's say hello to everybody. We got Gregory. We got Devin. We got John. We got Mark. We got Pete. We got Alan. We got Mark. Piet DeBrock. Welcome. Scuba Chris. David. Gregory. James. Jody. Frank. Jason. Timothy. Jill. Vernon. Stephen. Lydia. Lewis. Dave. Kirk. Wayne. Jeff. Sergey. Hey, Sergey. Art. Harold. Genevieve. Chuck. Hey, Chuck. Kevin. Good morning, Cam. Edward. Wade. James. Robert. Michael. David. Debbie. Dollar Bill. It is Wednesday. Hey, Sean, Tom, Mike, Scotty, Javad, the Sassy Trainer, John, Thomas, Ruth, Delroy, Mitch, Ray, Rick, Richard from Puente Gorda, Kevin, Kathy, Charlie, Clyde, Claudette, Peanut, Justin, George, Illinois Grain Farmer, Brian, Ming, Moondog is in the house. William, hey, William. Carlos, sellout crowd this morning. There you go. Hey, Carlos, is it okay if I repost those pictures that you send me? I want people to see I just want to share your family picture with everybody. Just let me know if it's okay to share, okay? I don't want to share anything that you don't want to share. Terrence, Anukumar, Jesse, Don, Walt, Javad, Samson, Duzzy. We got a lot of people here today. We got Debbie, we got Bill, we got Michael, we got John, we got Kenny, we got Kirk, we got Marlon, Bugs, Ralph, Raj, HG. Uh, Over the hump. This time looks like we are over the hump. Yep. Happy day, Lee, Carlos. Good, good. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. I just don't want to do anything without your permission. Stefan, good morning. Now, I want to show you guys something interesting. I'm actually pretty happy about this. Have you guys seen this? This is who will Trump nominate as the Fed chair? You should SJL, you should be able to hear me okay. You may be muted. Okay. Everybody else can hear me okay. Everyone can hear me well. Yeah, good. Everybody has sound and video. Good, 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 good. So you guys know who this guy is, right? That's my ex-partner. He's in line to be the head of the Fed. Isn't that something? No, Kevin Hassett. Not Besant. That's not Besant. Kevin Hassett. Hassett, you know, the senior advisor to President Trump, the senior financial advisor in America, that guy. Yeah. So if this guy wins, that means I'll be able to say that I was partners. I ran money with the current Fed. Wouldn't that be something? Now all I can say is I ran money with the current senior financial advisor to President Trump's administration for the second term. But it ain't a Fed. Now, if Kevin wins, that means I legitimately was partners in a hedge fund with the head of the Fed. Man runs the wood. What could possibly go wrong? Would be good. He's more. He's a yes man. No Besant. Hassett. That would be cool. All right, let's continue. I just thought that he's in the lead right now. Thank you, Anikumar. I appreciate that. No, you're not going to have any insider tips, Naples fan. But I just thought that's pretty cool that the guy who I ran money with 20 years ago is right now in line to be the head of the Fed, take over Powell's job. I think he should say that he run money with you. He did, HG. I was the lead. I was the trader in the fund. It was my system, and it was my trading system. I'll tell you some funny stories about it. Both him and Charles Calamiris. The fund was me, Hassett, and Calamiris. Calamiris is the professor of Columbia finance for the last 40 years, and this guy here, he used to teach at Harvard. And they're fundamentalists. They don't trade technicals. So I had to convince them to use a technical system. So imagine this, okay? I'm sitting in a room. I'm 31 years old, and I'm sitting in a room with the professor of Columbia in finance and this guy, and I'm telling them how fundamental analysis, which is everything they do, is completely useless in trading, and we have to trade a technical system. And guess who won the argument? And if you guys ever want, to know what the system was, I'll disclose it as well. All right, let's continue. No, Bassett is not even on the list. Hassett is number one. Okay, Hassett is number one. I think he's going to take it. He's been wanting it for 20 years. Okay. SJL, you have a problem with something is on your end. We have 389 people here. They can all hear me and see me just fine. Here, let me just type it for you. SJL, it's on your end. Okay. Yeah, he does always smile. All right, let's talk about the market. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of fun to share with you guys. I just wanted to boast a little bit. I thought that was kind of fun to have your own guy in the White House. I mean, literally have your partner, the head of the Fed. Okay. All right. By the way, all this took place around 2005, 2004, 2006. It's a long time ago. It's 20 years ago. All right. The market's looking a little better today than yesterday. But again, I'm not holding my breath. We don't have divergence between sectors. Very, very important. All right. Very, very, very important. Which means we could potentially see some upside, although we are quite lacking volume. And also we have FOMC today, which is a major catalyst. Okay, What is the major catalyst for today? What is the major catalyst for today? I didn't see Richard from Puente Gorda, or maybe I missed him. What's the major catalyst? Can somebody tell me what are the major catalysts for today? I ask you every single morning what the major catalysts are, and I'm hoping that you guys can give it to me. Anybody help me? Hello, anybody? Okay, so here we go. Bond auction, yes, very good, very good. That's a good one, Sean. FOMC, tariffs. You should have stopped while you were ahead, buddy. The Supreme Court, Fed. Where do you come up with this nonsense? How about just sticking with the script? All right, let's see if somebody could do a better job. FOMC minutes, Microsoft. Yes, definitely. Let's see. FOMC minutes, bond auction, chips are moving, but they're not a catalyst for today. By the way, folks, please, Bugs just made me realize something. Please do this. You're going to thank me for this. Go right here, go to 1080p. Make sure you're at 1080p. You're going to see things much, much clearer. And while you're there, how about a thumbs up? All right. One second here. All right. All right. So there's Richard. All right. Trump's tariffs. Yes. FOMC, wholesale inventories, crude oil. You got almost everything, Richard. You missed Microsoft. You missed Microsoft. Okay. You missed Microsoft. Very, very important. So here are my catalysts: the bond auction, crude oil, tariffs, Microsoft, FOMC, wholesale inventories. Okay. You got everything. You got AES, but you didn't get Microsoft. Microsoft is much bigger than AES. Okay. Now, why is it important? Why are catalysts important? Let me show you cause and effect. I want to show you something. Remember yesterday, solar was a catalyst. Chips were a catalyst. Remember that? Well, look at this. Sun Micro tumbled 11%. First Solar tumbled more than 6%. Do you remember yesterday, 24 hours ago, I was telling you when solar stocks dump, they really can move 11%, 6%. Remember yesterday, chips was a catalyst, KLAC. Intel climbed 7%. Do you understand why I tell you what the catalysts are every morning? Because they cause the biggest movement. Now, solar was a catalyst yesterday. It's not a catalyst today. Anything that we already know is priced into the market. Okay? So, crude oil inventories, tariffs, Microsoft, FOMC minutes, bond auction, 10-year bond auction, which right here, and petroleum status report. Now, small cap stocks on my watch list. I'm gonna give you a couple today. The first stock is CL. These are only effective for the day I give you the alert. You would buy above $1.05. CLDI above $1.05 right here. Let me create an alert. What's the next stock on my watch list? Small cap? PRAC. Where do we set alert? Right here. At 656. 1 day, only for 1 day. If it doesn't break out above the high, it's going to come down. We don't want it. So we only want it if it breaks up above the high. How often are these teaching sessions? Every morning, double R, and at noon. I do 2 hours every single day. Every single day. Okay, let's continue. Folks, this is not a morning show for microcap stocks. I'm simply here to give you the top ones. And if you guys want me to continue, giving you these morning stocks, give me feedback. If you don't want me to continue giving you these morning stocks, give me feedback. Which you guys, your feedback determines what I do to some degree. Now, Peanut says why it wasn't Peanut, sorry. K says why Microsoft? That's another great question. What do I tell you every single morning? If a mega cap stock, if a FANG stock is up over 1% or down over 1%, it becomes a catalyst. Microsoft got upgraded. Microsoft is 20% of the NASDAQ. Do you think this is not a catalyst? Anybody? You got it, Kate? Because I read this every morning. Okay? Piet de Brock, please do, please. Yes, most definitely. I mean, it only takes a second. I mean, it's not like I spent hours doing them, right? I mean, so again, let me know if you like them. Okay, now, first things first. Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show from what time are you guys on? From 10 to 2 or 11 to 2? I don't remember. Cam, Gustavo, are you guys here? Let me know. What I forgot the time. You guys are on. Sean, who cares why Microsoft is upgraded? Why do you care? How is it going to help you become a better trader? Double R, if you want to know if NVIDIA has more room to run, then you have to wait for me to talk about my stocks that are going to be running today. And if you're good, if you behaved yourself and you don't interrupt me anymore, maybe NVIDIA will end up being on our list. What do you think? All right. I'm glad we have a deal. All right. 10 to 2. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. I got to keep you guys in control here. All right. What do we have on the table today? We already know because we went through our catalysts. Catalysts are things that drive price. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Gustavo. And give Jax a big kiss for me. I love that dog. Makes me want to get a Doberman. So we got petroleum status report. We have a 10-year auction. 10-year note auction's big because 10 years really move. That's a big bond auction. And FOMC. So you guys, we have a couple of things today. The wholesale inventories is preliminary. I don't think it's going to be a big thing, but I am happy you guys brought it up as a catalyst because it's potential. Thank you, William. I appreciate that. Also, folks, I will be today at 10 o'clock. I'm doing something really special, okay? I'm going to be with Gramster and Nate in the opening playbook room. Do you guys want to know what I'm going to be teaching them there? Let me tell you. One second. I want to give you my schedule. I have a very specific schedule. Where's Deanna? Let me give you my schedule. The difference between day trading stocks and day trading indices, why the best indicators are not technical, why reading price action is critical for day trading, combining daily price action with market internals to quickly identify market structure and turning points, how to use VWAP for intraday price action. I'm going to put this again. Okay? So again, let me give you my agenda. The difference between day trading stocks and indexes, why the best indicators are not technical for day trading, why reading price action is critical for day trading, combining daily price action with internals to quickly identify structure, how to use VWAP for intraday price action. I dare anybody to say they're going to miss that session. Now, you're probably asking, Roger, you're going to give us all that at 10 o'clock? Well, what are you going to do at 11 o'clock, at noon in the VIP room? There's the link. Let me tell you what my agenda for the VIP room is. You guys are going to love this. One second, one second. Where the hell is it? Here it is. What are futures? How did futures get started? What's the premium and how it works? What are the different expiration months? How do futures compare with stocks, different contract size and liquidity? Huh? So 2 hours of education with Uncle Roger today. But don't miss the opening playbook at 10 o'clock with Gramster and Natester. I'll be there at 10 o'clock today. Here's the link for both of them, okay? So I just gave you the link for both of them. All right? There you go. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. What's the bond market doing? The bond market is still soft. Now, it looked like it bottomed out yesterday, but today it's getting soft again. Okay? It's getting a little softer. Good. Thank you, John. Very nice. If you'd like, Sean, it's in the YouTube channel. So again, I'd be cautious today. I would be very cautious. We're not getting a lot of love from the long bond, and we're not getting a lot of directional bias. Okay, although stocks are looking pretty good. U.S. dollar is still creeping up, although we're now right at that line, and the question becomes: Are we going to move past this or not? We have a lot of resistance here. Okay, we have a lot of resistance here, So we got to be really, really cautious. Okay. What is China doing? China is just sitting around here, not really doing much. We're kind of in a wait and see mode with China. And I'm fearful that we're kind of in that same mode with US right now. Okay. Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin remains in the upper end of this range. I mentioned to you that I will really like Bitcoin if Bitcoin can break above this level and confirm that it wants to stay above this level. This is not a confirmation. This is just a little ping. I want to see a strong bar away from here, and then I want to see a back test. So we're not there yet. Okay. Gold. I mentioned to you over the last several days that I'm not buying gold right now. If you currently have gold, that's fine. It could be making a double bottom here, but I wouldn't be buying any more. I would be looking to buy gold once we go above 30, 34, 41-ish, back in this channel, above this red line, and ideally above this black line when we're back in this channel. Do I believe we're going to get there? I don't know. I think it's going to largely depend on the next 2-3 weeks and on the policy decisions over the next 2-3 weeks. Okay. Crude oil. What do I think about crude oil? Crude oil is gearing up a little bit, and there's a couple of stocks like VLO, which I'll talk about today, that are moving higher. But again, there's really no major catalyst for energy prices to go up, and I feel like this is just a reaction from this. Now, by the way, if you ever wanted to see a really good example, if you ever wanted to see a good example of price action, you could see this is real price action right here. That's real selling pressure right here. This is just monkey business. Okay. This is selling pressure. This is buying pressure. This is monkey business. This is the same as this. This is just shit, just crap. You can't read into this type of price action. This is meaningful. This is meaningful. This is nonsense. Okay. So just want you to understand, and I'll talk about that at 10 o'clock today. A lot of you folks rely way, way, way too much on indicators, and you're not relying on your eyes. Your eyes are your best friends. If you want to trade above 55, 65% accuracy, it's in your eyes. It's not in the indicators. Okay. And I teach you that every single day. And I'll be teaching you that today at 10 o'clock in this room right here, by the way. So new attacks on shipping in Red Sea, no impact, or cuts in OPEC. Sean, I'm going to tell you this again, and I've told you this many, many times. You put way too much effort into why something is happening. I put no effort into why something is happening. Because why something is happening is not going to help me make money. Ask yourself, why should I learn something if it's not going to help me make money? That's my theory when it comes to the market. If it's not going to help me make money directly, I'm not going to learn about it. Okay? 90% of the stuff that you bring up to me does not influence the market. All right? All right, let's continue this. By the way, who brought Kane to you guys? He's the only guru that I ever brought into the pub. Yes, that's right. Exactly. Good morning, Richard. Just what Richard just says. Indicators are confirmation tools. Use your eyes. You learn to use your eyes. If you learn to use your eyes, you will be better off than 99.9% of traders. Okay? And again, here's my VIP room link. Please, please, please join me today for an amazing educational session on futures. Oh, my dogs are going absolutely insane right now. My apologies if you guys can hear them. Okay, mega caps. What are mega caps doing? Now, this is important for today. Prices are usually driven by mega caps. What are mega caps doing today? They're up only 19 ticks. Look at the last few days of mega caps. Do you think we're going to get a lot of directional bias from the market with mega caps doing this? No. 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 All right, let's read our report, and then let's talk about stocks in greater detail, okay? We're doing good on time today. All right. One second, folks. One second. Uh, you can't hear them? That's great. That's great. All right, let's go through this. Let's go through all this. Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, I believe that the market has completely shrugged off at this point the whole tariff mishigas. I know it's still a catalyst every day because there's unknowns, but I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. I personally have completely stopped paying attention to these negotiations because I feel like my head is going around in a circle because every day there's new stuff going around. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but anytime there's an announcement now, the market is not going crazy. The market is not moving that much, even when Trump does it during the market session. So I believe that the market believes, I believe that the market believes at this point that, I believe that the market believes at this point that when it's all said and done, the tariff levels are going to be reasonable. The market believes this is all just fancy schmancy negotiations, and once that it's all said and done, the levels will be appropriate. Basically, the market is not believing anything Trump is saying right now. The market is just like, yeah. Whatever you're saying, we're just going to ignore it. We're just kind of do our own thing because we believe ultimately we know what the decision will be. I'm in the same boat. Okay, I'm in the same boat. Now, am I in the same boat for the same reason? No, I'm in the same boat because we've been just having so much back and forth that I completely lost track of where we are right now, and my head is spinning. So, but if market was still impacted by it, trust me, I would still be up to date on it. But as of like a week ago, a week and a half ago, I think the market has completely. What Richard says, yes, I thought that when they announced no more extensions deals, none of the comments are moving the market anymore. No. Usually, if something is moving the market, I'm going to be talking about it insensively. I think most of you know my reputation for doing that. If it's not like a big deal, I'm not going to be obsessed about it. I don't even read articles about it anymore. I don't even want to read this anymore. To me, this is just all blah 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 blah. And if I'm thinking that, then the rest of the market is thinking that too. You may or may not remember But 2 months ago, I said that eventually, and I'm going to use the exact same language that I used back then. And I said to you guys that it's going to become the boy who cried wolf. Right? Do you guys remember? It's going to be the boy who cried wolf. Now, I'm not insulting anybody, and this is not derogatory. I'm just explaining the relationship between how the market believes in these tariffs. I'm not talking about the veracity of the tariffs. I'm not talking about whether they're good or bad. I'm not talking about the rates. I'm not talking about any of that. All I'm saying is whatever you believe it's going to be, it's pretty much what the market believes that it'll all end on a good note. That's the extent, okay? If you don't like what I have to say, if you think I'm being too political, I really couldn't care. But I'm just telling you that the market is like, enough of this tariff already. We're moving past this tariff, okay? So yesterday, White House news was proof that, yeah. So I'm not even going into the taco. I'm not going to go into any of that. I'm just telling you that as far as I'm concerned, it's old news already, right? Even though it's still a catalyst, it's starting to become old news. Okay, it's starting. It's like, but anyway, he's going to do this. Announce large 50 on copper. Could take effect August 1st. Propose 200% pharmaceuticals. Semiconductors under consideration. I don't want to. I don't want to get upset and frustrated. Okay, so I'm just gonna say tariffs are becoming like the boy who cried wolf, just like I told you they would, and I don't want to argue about it. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it. Uh, but it's still a cloud over our head. I mean, to say it's not a cloud over our head would be foolish, right? But it doesn't have as much of an impact. Me too, Rich. Me too, but not as much. There's not much firepower there. Major indexes, fair. Now this is interesting. Fair Isaac FICO slumped over 8%. This will be impactful to credit companies and banks. Keep an eye on this, especially to banks. I forgot the name. What's that bank that's like a second tier bank that relies on credit scores? Oh God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't remember the name. It's a very popular second tier bank. Okay. Um, God, what is it called? It's like when people don't have good credit, they get their credit card there. If anybody can remember the name of this bank, it's like a second tier bank. I would be watching second tier banks very closely right now because this will change things. Yeah, FICO. But what's the name of the bank? It's on literally on the tip of my tongue. Capital One. Yes, thank you, Brian. Capital One. Yes. Capital, no, Capital One. Keep an eye on second tier banks like Capital One, Sophie. I had Capital One in mind, but Synchrony, yes, all those second tier banks are gonna be impacted by this because imagine this: the credit rating is going to change. So this is important. No, I had Capital One in mind. Yeah, Ally Bank, basically second tier banks that rely on credit. Okay, secure credit card banks. Yes, the second tier. Keep an eye on solar stocks in case we have more downside, and keep your eye on SMH, well, which I'll talk about in a minute, which is actually doing really, really good yesterday. Completely bucked the trend and is outperforming the market. It looks to me like AI, or as I like to call them, uh, chip stocks are starting to come back again. But the whole AI is starting to get a boost once again. And yes, no, not Chase. Chase is not one of them, John. Chase is not one of them. And I have very interesting stocks on my list for you today, and I will give them to you in just a few minutes. Today, we're going to be watching the Fed minutes. We already know what they're going to say, but it does impact the market. You're going to be watching the bond market very, very carefully. I want to see if the bond market can break this low or if it's going to come up to the 50-day line, and I will be talking about it. Bank of America is too big. Second tier banks, not Bank of America, not Chase, not Wells Fargo. No. Second tier banks that will not give you a credit card, like not secure, but second tier. Second tier secure, basically banks that rely on interest rates. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Keep an eye on solar stocks for more downside. Okay, keep your eye on solar stocks for more downside. There's a 95% chance that no rate change will take place. We got wholesale inventories today. Crude oil inventories, watch crude oil cautiously. Europe is up over 1%, giving us a little tailwind. Did not happen yesterday. Investors are looking ahead, optimism on a potential trade deal, shrugging off Trump's latest tariff threats. See what Europe is doing? Shrugging off Donald Trump's latest tariff threats. The rest of the world is doing that too. I promised you that I would tell you when it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. It actually started to happen last week, but I wasn't here. It's the boy who cried wolf. Please, this is not a political discussion. I don't care what you think about tariffs. I don't care about tariffs. I just want you to know that the markets are like, okay, we got it. We got it. We get your game. That's all. China reversed earlier gains, closed lower today. Country deep in deflationary trend, heightened concerns over growth outlook. It's really funny. They're in a deflationary cycle. We're in an inflationary cycle. Together, they balance each other out. Have you guys ever thought of it like that? Oh, Kevin, don't get me started. I told you the first thing I would do if I was a president is I would regulate banks for usury. Yes, sassy trainer, potentially. All right. China reversed earlier gains, closed lower. So let's see. Europe closed higher. That's positive for US. Bank stocks and defense stocks led the gains on Wednesday. Keep an eye on bank stocks. Um, Japan ended higher. Yen's weakness against the dollar, despite lingering concerns over. See how even the US dollar is starting to come up. The greenback extended gains as U.S. President vowed more trade-related proclamations following the announcement of 25% tariffs on Japanese. Trump also said he would not provide further extensions beyond August. Again, I am just like I'm not. I'm over it. I'm really over it. Okay, Microsoft. This is good. This may give mega caps a little upside. What are the two sectors you're going to be watching very, very closely today at the open? You're going to be watching Microsoft and you're going to be watching Microsoft and SMH. You're going to be watching mega caps, mags. You're going to be watching Microsoft to see if it trades above 1% and if it lifts other tech stocks, which is beautiful right now. Beautiful chart. And you're going to be looking at SMH. Let's start with SMH. Actually, let's start with something simpler. How are sectors looking? Now, remember yesterday, I told you yesterday that I was expecting very, very little of anything, that the market is just not doing much. And what happened yesterday? This is today, this is yesterday. But what happened yesterday? Exactly as I said they would. Okay? Not much. Today, we're looking a little better. What I want to see is I want the SPY to take out yesterday's high. Yesterday's high is 622.11. We're at 621.85. 621.11. 621.11. Okay? So more consolidation, more choppiness, maybe a little bit of upside today. How are sectors looking? Let's take a look. Okay, is energy a speculative sector? No. Is basic materials a speculative sector? No. It's blue chip. This is blue chip. Is retail a speculative sector? Yes, it is. All right. Well, let's see where our speculative sectors are. Technology's here. Semiconductors are here. They're coming back up, which is good. Bitcoin is coming back up, but they're still not here. They're only up here. Consumer discretionary and QQQ are down here, and communication is down here. To me, this looks like a very fragmented market. Again, let's go back a week ago. Semiconductor, communication, Bitcoin, technology, QQQ. That's very pretty right here. That's speculative. That's speculative. Today, energy, basic materials, Russell 2, semiconductors here, technologies here, QQQ's all the way down here. Okay? fragmentation. All right, what about directional bias? 40 stocks making 52-week highs. That's not a very directional market. How about 20-week highs? 53 stocks, less than 100. If there's less than 100, what does it mean? It's no good. 50-day high. Okay, we're right at 100. All right, well, not great. I mean, I'd love to see over 100. And 90-day high, 121. We have barely momentum. Let's look at 20-day highs. We have 170. Yesterday we had 114. The day before that we had 481. So we still don't have strong momentum, and we still don't have strong directional bias. Okay? We need to have strong directional bias to move. What am I expecting today in light of FOMC? Probably a choppy day, staying inside of this high. Here's what I think will happen today. We're going to rally in the morning. We're going to trigger this high right here. Then we're going to start coming into this range, and we're going to start fizzling out. So I think we're going to overcome this range right here. It's going to look fairly bullish. And then we're going to start coming up to this area, which is around 623, and we're going to just kind of fumble. So what am I expecting this morning? I'm expecting some upside this morning, and then a consolidation as the day continues. Oh, excuse me. Got allergies. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm only human. QQQ. Let's look at QQQ. Folks, is this helpful to you? If this is helpful to you, how about a thumbs up? We only have 620 people here. Only 620 people here. Okay, QQQ, let's see. We're only up 0.22. We're not running away with the circus, okay? See where we're at? Maybe take this out by a hair or two and then just kind of come back down here. Not really seeing a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Good, Harold. So not a lot of directional bias, maybe a little bit upside to tickle our fancy. Just a little bit of upside in the morning and then just consolidation. Now, all bets are off at 2 o'clock because we've got FOMC minutes. This may shift the situation. So here's what I'm thinking. Morning, a little bit of upside, trapping in the bulls, a slow drift lower, and some volatility around 2 o'clock, and then completely unknown at that point. So a little bit of an upside in the morning, a slow drift, not major downside, a slow drift, and then a possible hiccup in the afternoon. That's what I'm seeing this morning. Thank you all. Now, let me give you my links. Remember something. I'm going live at 10 o'clock with Gramster and Natester. I'll talk about it in a minute, Ruth. Give me a second. In the opening playbook, the link is below. My agenda for the opening playbook is extremely extensive, okay? The difference between day trading stocks and indexes, why the best indicators are not technical for day trading, why reading price action is critical for day trading, how to combine daily price action with internals to quickly identify market structures, and how to use the VWAP for intraday price action. I'm going to post that link again. If you miss it, you're completely out of your mind. Why are FOMC minutes so important? Because it tells us what the Fed is thinking, Chuck. It's not always important. It's important, but it may not be. What is the Fed thinking after the last meeting? It gives us clues as to what they're going to do. Although I'll be honest with you, we kind of know what they're going to do at this point. But still, it's important. The 10-year auction is going to be very important, but usually the 10-year auction moves the market and then it just comes right back. But yeah, this will be important. FOMC. These are going to be bumps in the. This isn't going to change the trajectory today because there's nothing new here. I think what's going to happen is we'll get a little bit of upside in the morning. We'll kind of fizzle out. Buyers will start taking profit. We'll start drifting slowly, sideways, slowly. A lot of people send me emails are going to say the market's going down, and I'm going to say, no, it's just drifting. Overlapping candles, small size candles, and then we'll get a pop at 1 or 2 o'clock. I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. When you say go long SPY, are you suggesting 0 DTE call options? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, or 1 DTE call options, Cam. I've mentioned that several times. Yes, either if it's early in the morning, you could do 0 DTE. If it's after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 DTE. I personally like to do 1 DTE all the time. Matt likes to do 0 DTE. You're going to have to figure that out. The difference is today's expiration or Friday's or tomorrow's. I like 1DT, less profit, but lower risk. All right, let's continue now. Not a lot of directional bias. I think we're going to take out the high and then just come right back down. It'll be more of a choppy day once again. Not expecting a lot of directional bias. And it's also middle of summer, July, and the market's up only 0.21. So there's really no major movement. Yesterday, we were up 0.6. Okay, choppy, choppy, choppy. Semiconductors. Now, semiconductors I actually like. Semiconductors actually moved yesterday. I like semiconductors, and I have some semiconductors on my watch list. I like semiconductors. I wouldn't be buying semiconductors in the morning. What I would be doing is watching SMH, and I'd want to make sure that price can remain above this level, 285, 285, 285 around lunchtime. If it's still around 285 around lunchtime, I would start looking to buy because I like this stock, and they're offsetting this. They're moving higher. I told you that I like it above 265. I'm still waiting for a pullback to the 265, but I think for now we can have a little bit of a scalp here while the market is still kind of digesting its data. Ultimately, I think we're going to pull back right to 265, and then we're going to move from there, or we're going to come down to the 50. We're not there yet. So these are very short-term trades. Yes, supposed to be storming today. You're right. It is supposed to be storming today. Okay, the Dow Jones. Let's look at the Dow. You're going to be looking at mega caps today because of Microsoft. You're going to be looking at chip stocks today. Very, very important. You're going to be looking at chips and mags. Chips and mags. Now, the Dow Jones is already making its way down here. It's at the 8-day EMA. I think it's going to consolidate near the 8-day EMA, which will also means we're not going to get a lot of directional bias. Remember, no index is up over 1% or down over 1% right now. Okay? Very, very important. How does momentum looking? I'm glad you asked. Financials are still leading, as I promised you they would. Beginning of the year. Technology, the momentum is starting to cool off again. Let me show you what I mean. Which means momentum is going to become narrower. This is a long-term chart. See how we curled? See how we curled? Remember I showed you this either after I came back or before I left for Europe. I don't remember. But remember I drew this for you? I didn't change the line. I'm not changing the line. Now let's look at communication services. Hopefully this is helping you guys. The market's getting a little too ahead of itself. Yeah. The hell is going on here? Here. See how we are starting to peak out here? Before I left. Okay, 2 weeks ago. There you go. Perfect. So you see how we're not going above. We're just kind of topping out here. That means the market is getting overstretched, which means we have to be very, very cautious on the upside. Very, very cautious on the upside. That's another reason why Uncle Roger believes that we need to pull back all the way here before going higher. Hence, I'm not seeing a lot of monkey business here before we come back down here. And I've been telling you that for a few weeks now, and nothing has changed. So I'm not expecting big pops. I'm basically expecting enough pops to sucker in the weak hands. Remember, you don't have strong momentum. You have 40 stocks making 52-week highs. Not 100, not 200, 40. Okay? So just wanted you guys to understand that. You did it on Monday. Okay, screenshot of it. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Also, don't let me forget Customer Service Live. Here's the link for Customer Service Live. And here's the link for VIP Room, where I am going to have a very educational session on trading futures today. I know a lot of you guys want that. Okay. All right. So more choppiness, very little directional bias, stretched out sectors, middle of the summer, a lot of unknowns, cautious, 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 cautious. This is not a time to make big bets. This is not a time to trade big. This is not a time to initiate position trades. This is a time to be very, very flexible and extremely nimble, like we've been doing. Thank you, Naples fan. Appreciate that. All right. Second. Richard says SPY just peaked above yesterday's high and failed. This is why you can't just buy as soon as it breaks. You have to let it run a bit and come retest the level. Then you have much higher probability. Yes, both long and short. Ira, right now I don't like anything there's hardly anything to the short side. The market's not. Here's the problem, folks. If the short side does not increase in exposure, and there's hardly any stocks. Look, 52-week lows, 3 stocks, 20-week lows, 5 stocks, 90-day lows, 10 stocks. If the market doesn't break down, it can't go up higher. It has to, it works like this. You understand? Sellers, you need sellers. People need to sell in order to buy. No one is selling. So what you have is a market with very little activity right now, and the buyers are just holding their positions. They're not really aggressive, but they're not really doing much. Okay. So I would be very, very cautious today. Don't buy these morning breakouts. Remember what I said? We're going to make a high early in the morning. Then we're going to trigger a bunch of weak hands. A bunch of FOMO Joes are going to buy, thinking we're breaking out. Then we're going to come back down and just kind of fizzle around, and then we'll see what happens at 2 o'clock. Okay? By the way, Peanuts, it's the same advice I've been giving you every single day. We're going to test this area before going higher. All right, let's continue. RSP. Remember what I said? Down. It's up only 2.9 right now. It's very, very little. The trajectory now is towards this level. We need to test this level, Peanut, before going higher. You make a high, you test, and then you go higher. It's the advice that Richard just told you. I'm just giving it to you on a daily time frame, and he's telling you the same thing on an intraday time frame. You understand? You break out, you pull back to the breakout level, and then you either test that area and go lower or you go higher. Okay? Very, very, very important. All right. Before I take off to go to work, and I'm going to get in big trouble with Matt if I don't get there on time. Clyde and Matt are going to criticize me if I don't make it on time. That's my supervisors, Matt and Clyde. Progressive Insurance, downside. And again, I'm not really bearish right now. We need to see a real break to the downside before we have no elasticity right now in this market. I like this stock, this AMPH. I like this stock. MOH. Pen. That's it for my short list. Okay. That's it for my short list. See how this is confirming the break below the 200-day moving average? See how they consistently close below the 200-day moving average? That tells me that this stock wants to go below the 200-day. That's a very strong support level right here. Okay. The 200-day moving average, folks, is your strongest support and resistance level. Just so you know that. Okay. Do you know why it's the strongest support and resistance level? Because institutional traders use this as a gauge of whether they should continue buying or selling or not. They don't touch things below the 200-day moving average. Okay. All right. Let me give you stocks that I'm looking at now. So I already gave you 2 small cap stocks, CLDI and PROC. Gave you those. Now let me give you my large cap longs. Oh God, those dogs are going crazy again. Beautiful stock. Look at this stock. Beautiful stock. This is definitely a swing trading stock, not a day trading stock. Yes, wiki for swings. Yes. Now, I'm going to give you 3 semiconductor stocks. Semiconductors are looking good right now. I want you to be really careful. And I don't want you doing anything in the morning. I want to see it break out. I want to see it come down. And then I want to see it above the VWAP again. Capiche? So LRCX, NVIDIA. I really like NVIDIA right now. By the way, notice I'm starting to like chip stocks now that we're above 265 on SMH. MCHP. See how patient I was with chip stocks? A year. Almost a year we didn't touch chip stocks. Uber. I still like Uber. Very few stocks are rising, but the ones that are rising are moving really well. Nice breakout. Most of these are swings, not day trades. Dollar Tree. Nice breakout. VLO. Beautiful breakout. CG. Building a nice consolidation here. Maybe wants to go higher again. And AAP. I really liked this one in the morning when I looked at it. Nice move right here. Okay. All right. So at 10 o'clock, I will be at the pub giving you guys a lesson on day trading. At noon today, in the VIP room, I'll be giving you a lesson on futures and explaining to you what futures are, how they work, and all that stuff. It's just going to be a pure education session, but the Prosperity Pub will be actionable. Both are great. Now, please make sure to go visit Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show from 10 to 2 every single day. They will be there helping you guys out. Now, my last words of advice for today. Let's go to the SPY. Okay. To me, this does not look like a big range day. We did not have a lot of range overnight. Overnight, we've been going higher, which is great, but be careful. Look for a break above 622.28. That's the pre-open high. Look for a break above 622.28 and then look for consolidation or look for that price to hold. Don't do anything the first half hour of the day. Keep your eye on my free Telegram channel. Because of the market right now, I've been extremely verbal there and I've been guiding you every step of the way. Okay. Richard, the shorts are PGR, AMPH, MOH, and PEN. There was only 4 shorts, and I'm really not. For me to go short right now, the stock would have to look amazing, like amazing. Roger, why aren't you going short right now? Because there's no momentum to the downside right now at all. There's hardly any to the upside, and we're near all-time highs. You don't want to short when we're near all-time highs. We're not breaking down yet. I want to get a breakdown before we start shorting. I'd like to be right here when we start shorting. Okay? All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. If there's anything at all that I missed, here is my email. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please keep me posted on how you're doing in the trading zone. Send me love letters. I'll keep reposting them. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to work. Bye, everybody. Have a great day, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Richard, I gave those momentum stocks. It was CLDI and PROK. CLDI above 105. PROK above 660. Bye, guys. Take care. Have a great day, everybody. And again, if I talked politics or if I hurt someone's feelings, I apologize. That's not what this was. Bye, guys. Take care. Have a great day. Be careful. Don't be FOMO Joe today. The market will test your patience. I promise the market will test your patience. And we're in a slow